everyone, it's No Clue and welcome back to another Overpowered Wheels update. Yes, you heard me right, I said Overpowered Wheels update. I'm super excited to finally start working on this thing again. At first the inspiration kind of died out when I started working on it. This is afterwards and I'm super stoked now, to the point where the original intro I recorded didn't do squat for me. So, first things first, I'd like to apologize for the several month absence. I ended up changing jobs and the jobs put me through more hours and I was making the same money. It's all bad. I changed jobs now. Well, not now, and I'm changing jobs, so I'm going back down to one job instead of trying to work two and have time to come out here and keep all my other stuff running. So, that being said, I'm happy to be back. And that stupid engine installation stream was a total fail. I know what went wrong. I know what to do to fix it. So next time I decide to stream something, it'll actually work and we'll be able to hang out. It'll be a good time. But until that happens, I'm going to have me in post cut away to me before post, and we'll start on the Overpowered Wheels project again. That being said, I started doing the Overpowered Wheels. It's a little bit different than the last video it was in, and not even the Overpowered Wheels update, but that was also a little different because I was working on the rear end last time and now I'm working on the front end. And I thought I was going to end up redesigning the whole front end, but actually ended up the redesign I had wasn't going to work given the carburetor placement. Anyhow, I've been working on the front end and redesigned this front spindle here to make for clearance on the engine, and I'm going to add extra support to this bracket here, because having just this bracket out here put a lot of torque on the frame right down here. It bends stuff, and that's never a good thing when you ruin your frame. So I made these bars, and it kind of sucks that it's tube steel because it'll be out of place on an entirely box steel and angle iron frame. But for the angles I was working with, that is on the wrong side. The angles I was working with, it would have been just a pain to make it out of box, so I made it out of tube just to kind of make it easier. But you can see it's going to support on this corner of the engine mount. It's going to actually go up and underneath the engine, so it makes swapping in anything else kind of a pain. I'd have to cut these brackets back out and move it out like that some more if I wanted to go with like a Briggs & Stratton engine or something. But this has got a gearbox in it, so I don't see myself wanting to change engines anytime soon. But those will sit there like that, so any force going through the back of this, or that pushes the spindle back from rolling resistance and potholes and stuff, will actually just pull on this bar, and this bar will be so well anchored that the frame's not going to go anywhere. And it'll also give it a little bit of torsional strength as far as it trying to want to bend this tube because of the weight that'll be put on it. I'm also in the process of figuring out a good way to gusset this to somewhere back in the tube here, as long as I don't create clearance problems. And I should never have to worry about the frame bending, and that way it keeps everything down below the engine, so if I ever have to pull the engine, it won't be like a four-wheeler and I have to take everything apart, because that's always a pain. But back to the spindles, I'm redesigning the spindles, one, to get more clearance on the tires, because this spindle, you can see, is actually touching the tire and rubbing. So that wasn't going to work no matter what I did, unless I spaced the wheel out a little bit more. But then that just put extra stress on the spindle, and we'd be in the same boat as we are now. So I cut the bracket off, and I made these. Right now I don't know exactly what I'm going to do as far as up here to connect it to whatever steering system I go with. But more than likely, it'll just have a piece of angle with a nut welded to it, so I can bolt the tie rod down and call it a day. I'm just hoping that this isn't so long that I'm going to have like a super far amount of steering like range, but it will be on a, I will have a steering wheel, so it's not that big of a deal. It's not like I'll be hitting myself with handlebars or anything if I have to go really far. And as far as the rest of the steering, what I'm thinking is I'm just going to make a piece hoop that comes up, over, and down, and bolts to this. And then I'll gusset that, and I'll also build some sort of footrest in there, because right now there's nowhere to put your feet because it just goes straight to the ground. Yeah, that's the plan so far. I've kind of been cracking along. Alright, now that I got her all back together, I extended the video a little bit just because I felt the ending petered out, because I really haven't been recording enough, so everything's just disjointed, so I apologize for that. But you can see I got the tailgate sort of setting on there just because I wanted to make sure I had the seat set right, which the seat is now officially bolted down and not going anywhere anytime soon. As far as mock-up purposes, just tack weld it in. I wouldn't recommend driving with it tack welded on. Probably not a good idea. But in the meantime, I put it all back together. I was trying to figure out what to do for steering, and then it hit me. I can do a drag link on the front for my front steering, and then do another one of these tubes off the back on this side, because I don't have carburetor and recoil and reverse and gear selector and chain to deal with. So I'll do another one of these on the back side, and then bring that up to one in the middle for the steering shaft. And that it complicates things a little bit more just because it's a little convoluted on going over, then going forward in front of the axle, and then going back to the other side. It's a little convoluted, but tractors work like that, and this thing's not going to go that fast, or at least I hope it doesn't go that fast. If this thing still does 35 miles an hour, I'll be shocked just because of how ridiculous of a gear ratio I chose on it. But it'll be fine, because it'll have solid hem joints and everything will be adjustable, and I got caster built into the wheel, so it'll track straight. I probably just won't want to go faster than 35 on it. But starting to ramble now. I got everything kind of figured out in this back area, which I want to tackle next time. As soon as because I got to run to the store and hopefully pick up hem joints. I don't have to order them, because I want to do hem joint steering here, just between the two, so I could set my toe and figure out my total, I guess, steering angle is the best way to look at it, because right now I can turn the wheel all the way in. I know it's not going to go that far when the steering's together, but I want to know how far it's going to be, so I know where to set my brace for this, and it'll also dictate my whole steering setup. So right now I'm kind of at a standstill, but super excited to be back working this thing. Like, I opened the video up saying I re-recorded the beginning. I'm also re-recording this. So I hope you guys are excited to actually see this project in motion again as I am. And until then, guys, I'll catch you next time.